Hey, Conan O'Brien here. Normally, on Thursdays, we drop a fan episode, but I want to do something a little different today. On Monday, I talked to Dennis Leary, and he was chatting about a comic we both love, a Boston comic, Brian Kiley. Brian is working with me in my office right now on the Oscars, and I thought, hey, Brian's in the building. Let's get him in here. He knows all the dirt on me. We've known each other since we were kids. Anytime I do anything where I need great jokes and everyone else is busy, I get Brian Kiley.
I'll take it, guys.
Yeah.
I need to work.
I mean, I really cast a wide net, and no one wanted to work with me. No, Brian, our story is kind of crazy. We've known each other since we were kids because you would chat with my brother Luke at our Catholic instruction class that met at the Cenacle. What town was that in?
In Brighton.
In Brighton.
Yeah.
We were in Brighton on the top of a high hill. These nuns taught Catholic instruction on Monday afternoons. And I think you and my brother Luke started chatting with each other about the Bruins and the Red Sox.
Yes.
And I was in the corner doing bits for for a snowman.
Yes,
I mean,
it's insane. We went to CCD, which is, Catholic Sunday school, the same place.
Mm-hmm.
I would sit next to Luke and we would talk about the football games the day before, which we would still be doing now. We were 8 years old or 9 years old.
Aww.
You and my brother's dance class. And then Dan...
Say that a little slower because it said you were in my brother's. It sounded like you were in my brother's dance class.
No, you weren't in
I
dance
was
class.
not in your brother's dance class.
I thought that's what it
was.
was.
No, I'm sorry. My brother Dan and Conan, sorry, we're in the same class. And then they both...
It would be great if you were in my brother Lamaze's class. What? You were? I was not in a Lamaze class. No, his name's Lamaze.
No, so Dan and Conan were in the same class, and then they went to Harvard together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then my brother Dan would show me the Harvard Lampoons, and he'd be like, "Remember Conan O'Brien?" And he would show me these things, which were great. First of all, the class of '83 didn't do nearly as well as the class of '85. We didn't go to Harvard, Luke and I.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
You
but
dummies.
I know. But we'd read these lampoons, and then I kind of followed your career because I knew you were on The Simpsons and SNL.
Yeah.
But I would have walked by you on the street, not known you. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I hadn't seen you since.
Well, you would have been like, "Wow, who's that guy? He's got Riz." But
In
Yeah,
the
that sounds
80s
like me.
and the 90s and
Yeah.
stuff, he'd be like Riz.
he was using Riz back then.
Oh, wow.
With me
okay.
exclusively. That guy's got Riz, and I don't know what that is.
I still don't know what it is.
But so I think you came to work on late night. I'll never forget. You came in one day and you were wearing an Irish cap.
Sure.
And because you were a very funny stand-up, everyone knew who you were, and you were chatting with a bunch of the writers in the hallway because you were visiting.
Right.
And this is very early days of the late night show, like 93. And I see you in the hallway and I'm like, hey, we know each other. And we chatted a little bit. I pushed a button that said, please get him out of here. You were immediately taken away by NBC Pages and a robot.
Right. I kept asking, what's Riz?
Yeah. And then shortly after that, there was an opening for you and you came and started writing jokes for me. And my White House Correspondents' Dinner,
Right.
both of them with Clinton and with Obama. Everything I ever did, the 2 Emmy shows, and all the late night shows I've ever done. And then last year's Oscars, you wrote amazing jokes. And now we're working again on this year's Oscars, March 15th, tune in. And so I thought, wait a minute, this is a chance to get Brian to come in and we could settle old scores.
Yes, we have some grudges.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Ironically, my first day of work was March 15th in 1994.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, The Ides of March. So now that's when the Oscars are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Weird. Yeah.
It is, you have, as you know, I've told you this a million times, you're one of my favorite comedians. You have such insanely great jokes and you're so disciplined about having great jokes. my favorite thing to do is an impression of you
Yes.
doing the filthiest material ever at the Apollo Theater. Because you and I are the whitest comedians in the world, and you are the cleanest comic. You never go blue. And you always are wearing, in my impression, you're wearing a blue blazer, which is very you.
Sure.
And hello, hi, how are you? And then you go into the filthy, stuff that would make Red Fox blush. And you do it at the Apollo and kill. And it's just really like, you gotta wash that ass. Ladies, you gotta wash that ass. So I'm going out, and your enunciation is always so perfect, and you're so friendly and pleasant. And so I would do this routine called Kiley at the Apollo, and it was one of my favorite things to do because I get to be really crazily blue, but it's not me, it's you.
Right. Well, you've done it for my friends like Gary Goldman and some other, but they always report back to me like they're dying to just hear this.
Yeah. You as a really filthy comic, and then the minute your set's over, you go back to your dressing room and you open up a giant book on Truman. And sit on a metal stool, a little metal chair, and read it in your perfectly creased, chinos and blue blazer. And then eventually the guy comes back and says, "Get your ass back out there." And you're like, "Oh, okay." And you go out, and then you're even filthier the second time. Filthier.
Yes, then I go into my B stuff.
Yeah. But I'm just, I've got my oldest Kiley riff, because I like to have riffs on each writer. Was that you work out a lot, you're very disciplined, you have this very powerful...
I know it's coming, right?
I know what he's going to say.
He's got a powerful, very
yeah.
strong chest, arms, shoulders. This guy is just, you work out, but I noticed a while ago that I don't think you work your legs out as much. And so I started to riff on this, and then eventually your legs became vermicelli.
Yes.
And there were whole riffs about people in you can't go to Italian restaurants because people try to twirl your legs onto their fork. And these bits would, they would go on forever.
Yes, he's called them vermicelli, fusilli, fiber optic cables, ribbon candy. I was late one day last year because I had a doctor's appointment, and Conan told everybody I was late because I fell asleep and a little girl braided my legs together.
And this is the stuff I'll be doing on my deathbed. And what I remember, I forget all kinds of things, and my brain gets goofy. But the stuff I will never forget, and I don't care how bad my brain goes, I don't care what happens to me. I could be in a deep coma, and if someone came into me and said, Conan, it's like, no, it's no good. He won't respond to anything. Kiley's here. Vermicelli legs. A child braided them together. AT&T wants to talk to him about microfibers. And the same thing with like Berkeley Johnson, one of the writers, a hilarious writer. I haven't seen him since he worked on the Oscars last year. He came into the writer's room and sat down, and within a minute I went, Berkeley Johnson told me, I think 20 years ago, that his dad owned a flag store.
Right.
And I just why don't you tell that to your dad at the flag store? I said that instantly. Those things I'll never forget. If I can find a little thing on a writer, that's going in the vault.
Right. You'll forget your children's names, but
don't know them now.
But not a riff. Not a riff that works.
No, a riff will always be remembered.
Yes.
No, we've had... it's funny because you were always there in the room with me just before I went out and did a monologue in any situation. All those late night shows, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of late night shows. You were always in the writer's room with me and in my dressing room, and it's just about time to go out, and we're going over the jokes. And the thing we noticed, and whether it was the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I'm just about to go out there and perform for Clinton or Obama, any of those situations, or the Emmys or all the other different award shows, you and I would be together in a room, and I would start saying the worst things I could think of. Like if your favorite things seem to be me making up jokes that I could never do in a million years and pitching those, and then acting out the crowd turning on me. We would be doing that instead of me reading the real jokes.
Oh my God. And there are things that you can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And they don't,
because they don't make sense. When you're in the room, there's a room reality where it's working in this room. But then the minute you leave that situation, if you go home and try and tell your wife, they're like, what are you talking about?
It makes no sense. And they'll, like, people will say, oh, is Conan really funny? I'm like, oh, he's hilarious. Can you give me an example? And I'll have a Rolodex of like 100 things. I go, nope.
Yeah.
I can't tell any of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they don't make sense.
No, they don't make sense. But
yeah.
But so, you know.
But it was, and one of your heroes, Bob Newhart, you were so excited when we thought of a bit for Bob Newhart.
Oh, yeah. Bob Newhart was one of my heroes.
And very much like Bob Newhart, you're a clean comic, amazing jokes, and you do not have a hurried rhythm. And so you have your own thing, but you could see why, this makes perfect sense. Bob Newhart would be Brian Kiley's hero.
One of the coolest things. So Kevin Dorff came up with this great bit because we didn't want the Emmy show to run long.
Mm-hmm.
So the show's supposed to go 3 hours. So we have a tube with exactly 3 hours worth of air.
Like a little glass box.
A glass box. And if the show runs long, Bob Newhart's in the tube there.
Yeah.
And if the show runs long, then he dies.
He dies.
That's the idea.
And the great thing is he could do this without speaking.
Yeah.
So who's better than Bob Newhart?
With his faces.
With his face and his
God.
big sad eyes. And so he's out there and we wheel him out and he's sitting on this stool. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. Because he's your idol. You haven't met him before. And we're at rehearsal and we wheel him out. The idea is we're going to wheel Bob Newhart out in this box and then announce that he has 3 hours of air. And then if the show's still going, he'll die. And he's sitting in the box. And it was great because we decided it's great if Bob doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he comes out and he's
Yeah.
kind of sitting on the stool and he's kind of happy to be there. And then I announce that he only has 3 hours worth of air and he'll die. And you just see, because no one could do it better than Bob, that it registered with him what I'm saying. And he doesn't say a word. And he's also in an airtight box, so you can't see him. And it's registering, wait, what? And so Bob couldn't be there for rehearsal. So we had you sit on the stool and be Bob Newhart. And we shot you. And then when Bob Newhart showed up, we showed him you doing it.
That was the coolest thing. To have Bob Newhart, so to have me being Bob Newhart for Bob Newhart was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was so great.
You're standing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and there was like everyone on the show knew each other so well, and there were so many amazing moments. I remember when everyone knew I was a big Red Sox fan.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2011, the Red Sox were in first place like September 1st, and then they couldn't win a game for the last month. So at the very end of September, my dad dies, and we fly to Florida. We go to the funeral. We come back, and people are coming up to me, offering their condolences. And about 80% are talking about my dad. But then I realized 20% are talking about the Red Sox. You know? So they said, "Oh man, I'm really sorry." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And they're like, "Well, there's always next year." And it's like, no, there isn't actually.
What do you mean next year?
And they're like, "Oh, it's their pitching." Or whatever.
yeah.
I'm like, whoa,
no, it's they'll be back.
Yes.
Back.
Two totally different conversations.
Oh my God.
Yes. Just so many. I mean, I associate you with just almost every moment of my career. You're always there and you're there again. And I don't know what I would do if you told me, I can't help you this year. I mean, I know I'd be probably even better off. No, I'm kidding. No, I just wouldn't know what to do.
Well, we've had this long bond, and it's also just so many laughs. It's just so nice to actually have laughs every day at work, which is unusual. And none of them translate, and you can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
But we still have the laughs.
There's so much. I always thought the meeting just before I go out and do a show, the card meeting, that could be so funny, and not because of the jokes.
Right. Oh, right.
And then the meeting after the show was always just fantastic. Because then I could talk about, like, if a guest really didn't deliver, we would talk about that.
Yes.
And it was that was so much fun.
But also
I rooted against guests.
Yeah.
I wanted the show to tank so I could have a good post-mortem meeting.
But also, I remember, Lori and I would meet with you right after lunch for the second
Lori
batch.
Kilmartin.
Lori Kilmartin, who's
Another
great.
amazing stand-up.
Absolutely. And then you were normal, and we would talk about our
Normal?
kids. We would talk about movies. We would talk about whatever. Do you know what I mean?
When was this? When was I normal?
This would be like the 1 o'clock meeting.
Oh yeah, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the meeting right before the show was total insanity.
Yeah.
And so the other writers only saw the insane parts.
Right.
And it was like, no, actually, and be like, no, he can't be normal. I'm like, well, he kind of can. No one
The
believes us.
fact that I was shocked that I was normal at some part of the day.
Oh, you were like, when was that?
Yeah, prove it.
I
Let's
know.
see receipts.
Your 1 p.m. normal hour.
Yeah. It's just not true. It just doesn't happen. And so I'm curious. I mean, this is really isn't a staff review. This is just, I love Brian Kiley and I want to talk to him.
Yeah.
You better
Yeah.
be shipshape.
Better do more leg days.
Yeah. That would crush me.
I know.
If you developed your legs,
I know,
I'd be
my community was
crushed.
powerful. Oh
Next
my
Also,
God.
you know what I love about me giving you shit about your legs? Look at mine.
Yeah.
I mean, yours, it's so, I will get on other people about things that I'm far guiltier of,
Right.
which is the most crazy thing.
Well,
Yeah.
also, like there were so many riffs on different things, and I remember when that Tommy Lee sex tape came out,
Yeah.
and so we wrote all these big penis jokes about Tommy Lee or whatever. So Tommy Lee's on the show, and Conan's walking down the hall, and Tommy Lee says, "Hey, Conan, I heard you've been doing jokes about me." And Conan said, "Yeah, about how big your penis is. Feel free to do the same about me."
And he was like, oh, yeah, right. And then he got it that that's actually not a bad thing for people to be joking about. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, yeah. He was kind of menacing, and then he totally turned around.
Yes. He was
Oh,
like,
do more of those.
That
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One of your obsessions was you just always wanted to write jokes about how heavy Chris Christie was, Governor Christie. And he just, and you were obsessed. So every packet, I get the joke packet.
Obsessed?
No, he was
With
obsessed.
Chris
He
Christie
loves,
fan.
because it was all jokes. It's all jokes like there was a 3.2 magnitude earthquake in New Jersey today. When that story would be in the news in the morning, like a slight tremor near Trenton, I knew on the way in, oh God, this is all Kylie's going to write today. And then every joke was that setup. And then, yeah, apparently Chris Christie joined a jazzercise class.
Look how proud he still is.
Apparently. And you would do this. And then God forbid, anywhere in the United States, these stories would come out, these human interest stories, and it would be like, a semi-truck filled with candied hams overturned on Interstate, 7, and 900 hams covered the highway in Iowa, period. When he heard Chris Christie said, I'll see you, whatever,
Yes.
I'll see you in Denver. He has to immediately get on the scene.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why he just didn't go to the supermarket and buy hams as opposed to flying across
anytime
the
a
country.
truck turned,
It just seems so fiscally irresponsible.
anytime a truck turned over or a blimp crashed and fried chicken spilled on the highway, when he heard, Chris Christie said, Is there a bullet? Is there a jet that goes directly to that location? It was just, and to this day, when those stories break, and I eventually accused you of shooting out the tires of semi-trucks. I came up with this idea that Kiley finds out what trucks are carrying giant hams and roast beefs. And there's a giant truck carrying candy apples, and it's headed through Nebraska. Cut to Kiley on a high hill. He's got the itinerary of the truck. He's got a scope with like this. He's
Just
like a
for the setup.
sniper, and he fires, blows out the tires. It spills. Roast beef spill all over the highway, and Kiley starts submitting jokes even before USA Today has it.
Well, I remember when they came out with the memo of like no more fat jokes, and I was like, what?
Yo, he was
And
devastated.
then people are coming up to me offering their condolences, and I thought they were talking about my dad.
Did you do all the Taco Bell jokes too? Is that you?
We did do a lot of
He was
Taco
getting
Bell.
paid by Taco Bell under the table.
Well, we did a lot of Taco Bell diarrhea jokes, and then we had to stop because they started becoming our sponsor, which is a great way to blackmail people into becoming a sponsor for the
You know
show.
what?
You know,
You drove more companies into becoming our sponsor.
I know.
And you know what would help? I mean, for the podcast, we're doing great.
Yeah.
But to have Kylie come in occasionally, let's pick a top brand that hasn't bought into the show.
Yeah.
You go after them
Sure.
with your special humor, and then the next thing you know, they'll call up and go, we gotta stop this. Wow, I can't believe Wendy's bought in. Yeah.
We had to send in a monologue for remember they would have like a Writers Guild Award or something. So we had to type it up, and we went through a bunch of them. So we came with one. It was like 6 jokes, like 5 like really smart political jokes. We're like, this is perfect or whatever. And then of course the last one is a Taco Bell diarrhea. We're like, oh, we can't send that in there.
You thought you were gonna have a smart monologue.
Yes.
Every
And
time
then Taco
there was
Bell
this-
crept in
Yes.
there.
Anytime there was a moment where we thought maybe we'll get a Peabody Award this year,
Yeah.
whatever we submitted had one Kylie diarrhea joke in there. And you just could see the Peabody committee. Well, this is very good. They've checked all of our socially responsible boxes, and
Diarrhea.
yeah,
You got to keep it real, guys.
Yeah, I know.
I owe you a lot.
Oh, please.
You've cost me terribly, but I still owe you a lot. No, this was really fun.
I know. What was your favorite thing to work on with him? Like, what do you like? What's more?
Actually, I
fun?
mean, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is pretty cool because
Yeah.
he'd do a joke and then they'd cut to Bob Dole laughing, and we had or whatever, you know what
Yeah.
I mean. So you see these
The
people
next
like that.
day, I did the Clinton, and the one for Clinton, and it went really well. And this is when I'm still pretty new to
Sure,
people.
sure.
I've only been on the air for like 2 years, and people are like, "What? You know, this guy's going to bomb." And you guys wrote just some amazing stuff. And I get up and I do it, and then the next day, I took my parents. My parents had come to see it. I took my parents out to dinner in Washington D.C. For brunch. And I'm just really happy that I made it, that it worked out well. And I'm sitting with my parents at a table, and Bob Dole walks by and he points at me and he says, "Good term limits joke." I'm like, what? To have like one of the most powerful guys in the Senate
sure.
say, "Good term limits joke," which was probably your joke, but
Well, and I also remember when you had a joke about, you know, I walked through the streets of Washington, and it's like, this is where Jefferson was, and Madison, and Hamilton, and Bono, and you cut to Sonny Bono, who was a congressman, and he's just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah. What the hell? Of course, tragically died 2 years later in a
Okay.
skiing accident,
All
but
right, well,
but we got him while he was still around.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, why'd you have to bring up how
Well,
he
I'm
died?
sorry. I wanted to make sure people knew that that he was hearing that joke before he died.
Okay, you
Oh.
were making fun of him after he tragically
I would
died.
never do that.
That's nice.
Because
Okay,
he's not
good.
there to cut away to.
Oh my God.
I have a heart and I'm practical. You can't cut to a grave. It just doesn't look good. Well, I'm sorry. I've tried it. It's called a comedy killer. Yeah, tell that to Sonny Bono cut to. Hey!
Oh my God.
Yeah.
my God.
Well, Brian, I'm glad you came in for your staff review.
Yay.
You know,
Well, thanks for all the laughs and all
yeah,
the
you
fun,
too.
guys.
I mean, just so many great jokes. There was one I remembered when every celebrity was coming out with a cologne, and I thought you wrote this one, but it's still every now and then I think about it, which is like Luciano was when Pavarotti's alive.
Yeah.
Hello, and I said, and it was true. It was in the story that he had come out with a cologne, and you said.
No, this wasn't mine. But
Oh, wasn't yours?
No,
Oh.
it was a great
Luciano
joke.
Pavarotti, today Luciano Pavarotti released a scent, this time on purpose.
Oh my God.
I was so happy with that one. I still think about that one.
But that was not your
that
joke.
was not mine.
Oh,
okay,
please.
okay.
Well, I don't
Please,
care.
I couldn't do every fat joke.
No, that's true.
Do you still remember all the jokes you wrote?
Oh,
like
no.
if you listened to his White House Correspondents' Dinner, would you be like, I wrote that one?
You forget most of them.
okay.
There's
I
just too
can't.
many.
When I look through my whole career, I never know. People will say to me sometimes, "Oh, that's so you, that joke. You must have written that one," and I don't even know anymore.
No, and people would compliment me on a joke, and they go, "That wasn't mine." And then I look at my computer, it's like, there it is. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't remember
Yeah.
that at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely happened.
How are we going to do this year at the Oscars?
Taco Bell diarrhea jokes.
Well, if Chris Christie,
Yeah. Bring back Chris Christie.
Anyone listening out, listen to the Oscars. If I walk out there and the first thing I do is say, folks, we've got a great Oscars tonight. So many stars are here. But quickly, I just got to mention a truck carrying 900 eclairs just overturned in Newport, Rhode Island. When he heard Chris Christie said, "Get me to Newport." Cut to Leo DiCaprio looking confused. Timothy Chalamet. Kylie Jenner laughing really hard. She's like, that's good.
Yeah.
Finally,
she's your audience.
Yeah.
well, yes, and if Chris Christie, if he thinks it's the Oscar Mayer award, he could make an appearance, guys.
You're the worst. Oscars? The hot dog people? No, the film award. Ugh. You're going to be calling him saying, would you do a bit where you keep running in with a bib? Saying, Oscars? Are the wieners here yet? No, Chris Christie. You're the worst. I'm just realizing right now, you have crippled my career.
Yeah.
Get
Get the fuck out of here. Brian Kiley, God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. So
Go
great
Pats.
to see you. Go Pats.
Uh-oh, this is going to...
Oh, boy. All
Oh,
right.
boy. We just jinxed it.
Controversial.
Yeah, over and out. Because when this airs, they'll have already lost.
Oh.
I said it before.